1 John 4, 7 and 8. Beloved, agapetos. Beloved, let us love one another. Let us agape one another. For love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. The one who does not love does not know God. You say, well, I don't know. I wouldn't say they're not a Christian. Yes, you do. God says if they don't love, they're not His. Church attendance is not the same as Christ captured. So many people are going to church that haven't come to Christ. So many people's resume are impressing people when their relationships are repressing people. God's word is clear. Jesus is saying it at the most intense and intimate time. John is restating it for clarity, and I'm sharing it in hopes that you and I will come to understand what it is to be His church and why Jesus is sharing this at this time. What He said. If we do this, He says, you're to love as I loved you. Friends, none of us can atone for anybody else's sins. But we can certainly get down in the trenches and we can love on one another and we can serve with and serve one another and we can put each other first and we can live selflessly. We can do all that it takes to the best of our ability to glorify God the Father. Those things we can do. Where and when those are absent, we're not loving like Jesus. And when we're not loving like Jesus as a pattern of our lives, we're not His. And where and when you see patterns of people who are not loving like Christ, they're not His church. Well, they may claim to be, and they may run a heck of a religious show. They might even get big, but that's a crowd, it's not a church. If we're not loving one another to the point of it being bizarre to the world, we've missed the mark. You'll see when we get to the end of this passionate prayer time in John 17 that Jesus makes this very clear. He says, it's your love for one another that becomes the calling card of Christ that will show the world that He is Lord. To marginalize this or write it off or to think it's not important is to literally walk away from the proclamation of the gospel. Church has become the place you go and you learn some things and you hang out with some people and you talk about being moral and your kids play together. But we've lost sight of the fact that the church is to be the people of God, so in love with Him that their love for one another arrests the attention of the onlooking world.